Awesome. Hi, guys. I hope you guys are great and everything is going well. We are happy in here. We're so excited to spend quality time with you this evening. Like Anna was saying, we have an awesome guest joining us today, as always. Today we have, and I hope I don't butcher his name, Paul Rosescu. He's a powerhouse writer, film director, content producer, and video editor. Paul brings a wealth of experience from working as a script supervisor for Warner Bros., television, Lionsgate, action concept, and numerous indie productions. Today we are going to talk to him about a lot of things, including a Bulgarian feature film that he served as the director of photography for. So we're just excited. It's going to be so much fun. We hope you're ready and just put on your seatbelt and today will be fun. Anna, what do you think?
Definitely. Paul, also award-winning short film director, and we are so happy to have you here. And my first question is, why? Why we never met at a spree working there together?
True. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been, I've just edited for Esprit. And then I've been at Esprit one day, I think, for Ion Barbu. Who introduced us anyway. And I guess you weren't there or I didn't see you.
No, that's the life, that life and the path are so cross-passing, and then you meet in reality finally, and then you talk and you realize you have so many in common things, friends in common, amazing. And it's a beautiful Düsseldorf, of course, small creative community, but strong. And of course, we can talk about this for ages. And my question to you, how did you find, difference? Because I'm a little bit jumping from, of course, your upbringing in Romania, studying in UK, and being now here in Düsseldorf. But how do you find those two different countries, like UK and Germany, right? How the approach for film, video production, are for you find it maybe easy, maybe different, maybe interesting, and how you blend it, let's say, your experience and to create your art?
Interesting question. I was in the past 5 years I was in London, and now I just moved back at least permanently for now. I guess my artistic pathway is always the same, no matter where I am. It's just, I guess the stories, if I do drama, storytelling, it depends on the culture. And then in England, I would bring a more international mindset towards Western culture, politics, and all that stuff. Whereas in Germany, I have the international mindset and also the German culture, because I understand it quite well, whereas with England I don't. It's a lot more familiar now, and I understand it now a lot more. But I wouldn't. I'm not familiar still with the street speech and the many accents that they have there, and where they're all from, and any part of I don't know the history of England that well.
Yeah, that's true. Trying to say that Germany is the best.
No. But just I grew up here in Germany, and I also have my I'm an immigrant even here in Germany from Romania, and but at least I grew up here. I went to school here. I know all these years what's, at least since I'm alive, what has happened here, and the development of Germany to what it is right now, and I can tell a lot more about that. And also I just understand the culture a lot better.
But you are not immigrant, you are international artist.
That's how you call it.
That's a nice way to put it.
Then I'll hop in and then ask the next question. My question to you was, even as I'm listening to you now, I realize you have such a rich background with Romania and Germany and even in the UK. How has that influenced you as someone who's a writer? For me, it's always important to know what influences you as a writer. Where'd you get your inspiration from? Cool. Has your multicultural background influenced how you do filmmaking, how you direct, how you write, and if so, how?
Obviously, it influences everything. I have whatever I write is usually culture clashes between East Europe and West Europe, or more precisely when I'm in Germany or in England, with then clashing with East European culture, I guess, or Romanian. I'd say the culture in I'm saying East Europe because Romania, Bulgaria, Russia, Ukraine, they have similar historical context with the Soviet Union and the past, whereas in West Europe they also have similar historical backgrounds. So you have similar ideologies here in West Europe and in different countries, and in East Europe you have the similar mindset. So yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm making this separation more. But sometimes it's more local, whereas, for example, Germany or Düsseldorf, because I know the culture quite well. And sometimes it's more international, like when I'm in England, then I try to stay in a more international direction. But it's always about cultural differences, and then creating some interesting comedy between the culture clashes between these two cultures.
Definitely, now you're working on a lot of movies, and you had one of your, I think this is the award-winning movie, The Transport. Which is really interesting. I would advise to watch this to everyone, for real.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, really, really. But tell me, when was this point when maybe you work on the project, maybe you met someone, maybe you already was in this creative area, and you said, "Oh, I want to be a film director. This is my goal. I feel it with my soul." When was that moment for you?
When did I decide to become a film director?
Yeah.
I think for me it was very early on, when I was, I think, 16, 17. I decided to go into the film direction. I didn't quite know if I was going to be a film director. I just liked film, but with film directing in mind. But definitely film. So I started recording some skate videos back then. Even when I was 13, I started doing that. But then skate videos, family videos, then filming, editing. My first set experience was also on the set of Alarm for Cobra 11, or Cobra 11 in German, Cobra 11 in English. It's an action TV show, very popular in Germany, and this is where I learned to be a script supervisor assistant. This is where I did an internship, and then I was an assistant there. And then from there, you get thrown right away into the most difficult sets ever, and then you learn a lot of stuff from it. I mean, I got fired after 3 weeks.
Okay.
From that, I learned a lot from that experience.
Right.
And then I was really fast after that. And then I continued this journey of script supervising for many years, and also landed on Warner Brothers and Lionsgate Pictures, some independent movies. But I always loved the psychology of
characters,
human interaction, sort of. It's always about humans in film, and I always had a good instinct about people and how to basically. I can tell when somebody is trying to bullshit me or not.
Okay, that's really good quality.
It's an instinct that drove me to direction, because I can always tell, okay, I don't believe you, I don't believe you, I don't believe you. Do this, do this,
I know
do this.
what you mean.
Or think like this, think in this situation like that. Because what are you doing right now? I don't believe what you're trying to sell me.
Even we are talking about now characters, and we're gonna talk after a little break, and we're gonna listen Hans Zimmer with Angels and Demons soundtrack. Paul, we have been discussing about your way, how you found yourself. You start from age of 16, and then we were talking about as your personality, understanding of psychology gives you as a film director, understanding how you can really break the characters during the shooting movie. And tell us about it a little bit more, please.
Please. Sure. What do you want to know about breaking characters, though? It's from a directing standpoint and from a writing standpoint. So
of course. First of all, I would love to, of course, from directing standpoint, but Nelly, I know.
Definitely from the writing standpoint for me.
I see. Sure, let's start with directing. Oh, maybe let's start with writing, because then let's start with writing.
Logical, yeah.
So, well, with writing, it's if I write, I write what's I write. Let's say I did one film project where I wrote characters that in the end I didn't like, and then I never want to see this scene again because I wrote characters that I don't even like, and then someone told me you should always like your characters, and then from that point on I always wrote characters that there has to be something that I can identify with, or I like these characters even if they're all evil, but still there has to be something that I like about them. And then I write what I know, basically, which is my understanding of the world and my understanding of humans, and what first to have all these characters have that thing that I like about them. But it's always I just get some ideas about how to make them, and there's always one character that conflicts with another, otherwise you don't really have an interesting story. And always these two characters get developed after the story and the idea itself. So I usually have an idea or a story idea, and then what are the kind of characters that are necessary to push this idea forward to get it in the end. But sometimes, for example, my project my long format project that I'm doing at the moment, which is a 45-minute film at least. I'm not sure if I will continue after that, but that actually started with a character, and then just an idea for a character, because I met this actor in London on my very first shoot. That in the breaks, he didn't have much of a role in that film, but during the breaks, usually, at least on that set. Actors kind of talk a lot. They need the energy, but this guy was just sitting there on a chair, very focused, with a very straight posture. In the end, I understood he's a yoga teacher, so it makes sense that he had a very straight posture. But he had this very focused look, and that somehow gave me the idea for this sort of character that I created a whole world around him and a whole story, and made him my main character. And I'm working with this actor for this project as the main character.
But we need to know who.
It's difficult to say how to create these characters. It's usually from a cultural perspective. I write and some part that I enjoy about these characters, and then usually I really hate when I see characters that pretend to be so moral on TV, especially you have that right now everywhere. Oh, the good characters have to be so moral and then they have no flaws. They're just perfect from the start. They don't learn anything new because they're already perfect. Because it's so controversial nowadays to make a character that has flaws because I don't know, the studios are too scared to do a character that has flaws. But with flaws, the character can grow and learn something completely if he's the hero. But usually at this point, I'm just doing anti-heroes because then nobody has to tell me, because I can just say, oh, they're evil characters anyway. They can have any flaws they want,
Yeah. And I think it's also like, that's the truth. That's the reality of human beings. We are all nuanced. We are all not perfect.
So I love to create arrogant characters.
That's interesting.
It's just funny in film when characters are arrogant. And in this film, really, literally everyone is arrogant, and they're all mean people. So it creates more comedy. That's what it's fun for. That's what it is for me. And I never want to make any movie that is kind of preaching morality to the viewer. I just want to do some entertainment and maybe ask some questions that are a bit more social, economical, or something. But in general, I don't want to preach to the audience. I just want to make entertaining things that are entertaining to me. And then if I think they're entertaining to me, then they're most likely they're gonna find an audience that is also entertaining. Because at least people who think like me, who like stuff like me, they'll like this. Totally. And I think that's quite a lot of people actually.
Great conversation so far. It's been so awesome. We are learning so much from Paul. I have a question. As you were talking, I was curious about your favorite movie, because you're talking about how you develop your characters and what you want from your scripts and what you want when you're directing. And I was wondering, what is your favorite movie? Because then we'll delve into your feature film right afterwards. So I want to know what your favorite movie is first.
I'd say it's American Beauty and The Godfather.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah. I think American Beauty is more personal for me, and then I don't know why it just touches me more. But The Godfather, I can, it's
Related. It's The Godfather.
both too, I guess. If I were to do a movie, it's more likely to be similar to, towards The Godfather. That's why I'm doing the crime drama bit,
But do you have a dream to work with some of those actors?
I would love to work with Kevin Spacey someday. Now that he's cancelled, maybe that's more of an easier option.
Okay.
No, he's one of the he's one of the greatest actors of all time. So I don't. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, this is what my feeling is. We don't need to judge person and talent.
Exactly.
Yes, as a person, one thing, and talent, it's a completely different thing. And of course, I this kind of conversation, which is now around upcoming about him again this year, I heard. Honestly, I have still no opinion about it. I don't know. I haven't read any legal or documents. That's why I can't say anything about the story behind. You know what I mean? Yep. They're waiting for a million years to come out, and maybe they heard. You know what I mean? But I agree.
I mean, I also don't want to talk about Kevin Spacey now. It's just it was just a short mention because you asked me.
No, but I agree. He's talented.
Yeah, very.
And what he did in House of Cards was brilliant. I take a lot of inspiration from House of Cards. Also from the TV show Fargo. Mm-hmm. So both of these are kind of influencing my own personal project at the moment.
Right.
They're influencing it quite a bit.
Awesome. Then tell us about what inspired you to take on this Bulgarian feature film project. Yeah, right. So maybe tell us a bit about Till the Last Breath. Number one, I love the title because it's not easy to get titles. So I love the title, Till the Last Breath. But what inspired you to be part of this project in particular?
Well, I mean, the title in the movie is from the director Matej Genchev, who I've met at university, at film school, in England. And he's a very talented director and very quick thinker. And hey, he got this project done. It's really difficult to get a feature film going with basically zero budget. And he asked me to shoot his film with him as a director of photography. Mm-hmm. And that's when I went last year for the first time in Bulgaria. And hey, he's already done with the movie. It's premiering in theaters, at least in Bulgarian theaters, in 14th of February. And he also plans to do a more of an international release. Also, I think London Genesis Cinema, if I'm correct. I'm not quite sure at the moment. But I'm looking forward to the premiere. I'm going there in Sofia on the 12th of February. It's a premiere for the crew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that. And sorry, what was the question again?
What inspired you?
Right. Well, I mean, he just asked me to help him out on that, and I just wanted to, get into his team. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to find the right people that you can work with culturally and professionally, let's say, and that you trust, and I trust him completely, and then I just wanted to do it with him. And this story is a love story combined with the enduro motorsport.
Татко, дойде едно момче Естебан. Искам ти да го тренираш. Тогава се заемам аз.
Елена!
Утре започваме отрано. Не си се качвал на мотор до сега. Ела, ще ти покажа нещо. Хвани ми ръката. Хвани ме, закръсти се, дръж здраво.
Допускаш грешка, момиче.
Естебан е специален. Той иска да довърши започнатото от баща си. Той ще бъде шампион, знам.
Аз ще бъда шампион. Той ще ми диша прахта.
Приятно ми е да съм тук. Приятно ми е с теб.
От утре почваш да бачкаш и да се издържаш сам.
Ясно ли ти?
Искаш ли да разбереш защо уволниха господин Маринов?
Степан, ти цял сезон ли ще седиш тук?
Paul, you have so many projects running now. But what helps you to maintain your creative energy in this level, in higher level? Because I see you, I met you before, I talked to you before. I know you're super creative, you have a lot of energy. And how is it possible? Just share this with us, your secrets.
I mean, I always think I'm too lazy and I don't do enough.
Okay, that's easy, guys. That was that easy.
So I always think I'm way too lazy. I could do a lot more, you know. And I'm trying to be more productive even because I could do more, I think. So, but I just you have to have it as a passion, definitely. I mean, I'd rather stay inside and color grade for 6 hours on stuff than meeting just friends in a bar or something. I don't go out that much. I'm more of a morning person. I love coffee and working on my stuff. That's it. So there's others who enjoy going out with friends every weekend and stuff. It's just not me. So I just enjoy working on my stuff. And then it's really about passion because I enjoy doing that.
But it's also a misconception about people from our industry, right? Is they live nearly, right? We're working, we have our Zooms at 10, but that's all. We sleep, we wake up early in the morning, we don't go party, not because we are boring, okay? But just because we really love what we are doing.
Yeah.
And we just want to be dedicate us to the craft and not spend time for some...
Yeah.
I mean, which is, I'm not blaming.
Yeah.
We had all times when we were spending this for drinks and had fun. But time, now it's different.
That's why I think it's such a creative answer from a creative. It's the truth. It's like, there's never enough time in the day. Like, I'm just like, why do we have only 24 hours? Because like, you have so many things that you want to do and there's so many things that you can do. But then I love what you said about like how you're figuring out how to be more productive in this season and how to like kind of wear all those different hats, but then make it fit into your schedule. So then I'll piggyback on that and then ask, which of all these hats is your favorite? Because you're a writer and you're a filmmaker and you are a director, and which one is your favorite and which one do you hone into? Which one do you love doing the most?
Directing for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think writing because it's the most difficult one of all of them. Mm-hmm. But let's say is the scariest one. It's the one that you can't really predict when you can write and when you can't. If I just sit down with a piece of paper, nothing comes to mind. So it's just, you can't just sit down. I'm still figuring out what's the best way to be productive as a writer, to have things come into your brain. And for me, it's working with music. So it helps me a lot to just listen to, for example, Hans Zimmer or any other movie soundtracks from movies that I like very much, to just get in that zone just with headphones and usually with a cup of coffee, and I just walk around the block or something.
Yeah.
And then, ideas come to mind very quickly. It's kind of a meditative space almost, where because you're kind of blocking out every other thought with the music, and I don't know, with the coffee it gets me productive.
So we're talking before the break about like how, Paul, you wear different hats and all the different things you're doing, and you kind of gave us insight into your writing process. We would also like to know, what are you working on now? We want to know what is going on in your head, all the things that you're working on. So share with us what you're working on now. I'd love to know.
Sure. So at the moment, in the last couple of months where I still lived in London, I started a project that first was an idea for a 30-minute movie, then 45 minutes, and possibly could go on. It's and I'm still not quite sure about the format, if it's gonna be like a pilot episode or a feature film. And it's the movie that I mentioned earlier before with this character that I created just from the guy sitting on a chair. But it has nothing to do with that, of course. It's a crime drama movie about pharma corruption, and sort of also going slightly into gangs, especially in London, and the more sort of a mafia feel to it as well.
Oh, we love it too.
So
love and mafia.
exactly. And set during the COVID times. So that's also, yeah.
But you're shooting in London mostly.
I was shooting everything in London, and now the next part is in Germany. And so the next, let's say, 20 minutes of film I want to shoot in Germany with a German cast, German speaking, showing a bit of a German culture, what was happening here during the pandemic in comparison to the UK, because there were very different rules when I went by plane there and then back here. The people were thinking differently about the stuff because the media is telling you different things there and here and all this stuff. So the mass psychosis was different. So I want to show that in the movie. So that's part of why I also want to shoot here. And I for this part I kind of need also more. I'm looking for actors, and I'm looking for behind the scenes people who want to help out on this film. So that's also a shout out to everyone who might be interested in this sort of genre, especially actors, but also more crew, and.
But
it's not paid. It's not paid.
It's really nice to remind. The crew, we're talking about the stylist, like the costume stylist, or we're talking about the light assistant?
Right. Lighting, sound, really just the basics. It's just for portfolio. Anyone who wants to work on portfolio stuff and wants to go more into narrative film, so in the film industry, and is obviously interested in these kind of topics that I just mentioned. I welcome everyone, of course, and I'm based in Düsseldorf, Germany, and everyone around that, Cologne is fine too.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, please feel free. Paul is really open, and I think it's really great opportunity, especially if you just start your career, or if you're in the middle of your career but kind of lost and you want to break through. It's happened. I think it's great. Thank you for this opportunity, actually.
Yeah.
And I have a one-stem actor.
Anna's already pitching her actor.
Send him my way.
Like in the background.
So guys, before we end, you guys will be able to get all the information from Paul. But if you want, also you can leave it on our platforms, on September 9 Production on Instagram, LinkedIn, on our Patreon. Just let us know, and we'll definitely link you to Paul as well. Which I just wanted to throw that out there before we continue. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So Paul, what's your vision now for apart from this project that you're working on, what other projects do you want to work on? Like what can we expect from you in the next few years? In the next 2 years, where will we see the name Paul Rosescu? In Hollywood or where? Where will we see you?
It's difficult to say. It was very hard to even predict what was happening this last year. These things just came, and I just have this philosophy: if you just keep working on stuff and you put, let's say, good energy out there and do something positive, then you get positive things back. So it's hard to say what's gonna happen. I mean, it was totally unexpected to get invited to Bulgaria to shoot this film. And then it was kind of expected I was gonna do my project, because I was scared to do this bigger thing. I've never done any like a really long format stuff with this big of a cast, and it's quite it's already 7-8 actors, I think. And I was scared to do it because also it cost me money I had to invest. So far, I think I spent 2,500 euros just for a 25 minutes film, and still nobody really got paid, just some expenses and stuff. But it's very so the risk is high, and but it was time to do it. I was scared to do it for 3 years, and I haven't done any project in London. And then I said to myself, okay, in order to get the pressure to give myself the pressure to do it, I canceled my apartment in London, and in 2 months time, let's say, So I had 2 months to either do this project now or never.
Wow.
So this is how I kind of work. I had to just push myself to kind of give myself this pressure.
Trust
Yeah.
in yourself, actually.
Yeah, because it was a big step up from what I usually do, and it was a bit scary. So I kind of had to push myself because I knew, okay, already 3 years have passed, and I wanted to do it, I didn't do it. So now I just give myself this push. Okay, now or never, and then I just did it.
Amazing.
And it went fine,
give
you know.
those pushes to ourselves.
There has to be a point in time in your life where you push yourself, where it's scary. And I love that you said that it's scary. It's not always easy. It's not always like, because online we can see all these accolades like on LinkedIn, and this person is this, that. And then you don't know that all of us are also figuring it out. We are all also open to God, open to the universe, open to whatever is coming our way. And I think that it was so beautiful the way you said it, that you just were open. And also it's the same with the future. We all don't know what's going to happen. We didn't know COVID was going to happen, and it happened.
We don't know, but what we know, our future is going to be bright and amazing.
That we know.
And to continue this topic,